Good afternoon, good morning, good night, wherever you are, boys, girls and Dota players. This is Tom, and I'm bringing you another reasonably high MMR pub Dota game. It's been well over a week since I uploaded my first video, so I figured it's time to do another one. We're jumping in just at the end of the draft here of this game. It's a 5.9k average MMR, I think it was. So it should be a reasonably high skill level. And we're just about to get started. The final pick's about to happen. Nothing outrageous in the draft at the moment. There's a pretty good synergy on some of the teams. Bounty Hunter's going to do some roaming. If Sand King starts to jungle, he could cause them a bit of a XP leech, basically. Probably can't stand in the sandstorm. We'll see how it all goes. Tide Hunter was the final pick. Invoker lobs out the Sunstrike just for a bit of fun, just to see where people are going, see what people have purchased. Or just because he can. It also means he's going Exort as his first element.
It falls to me to inform you that this
Dazzle and OD have an interesting interaction where Shallow Grave is a very strong spell. But OD, his Astral Prison is very good. As soon as something's Shallow Grave, you just Astral Prison them. And they... Once leveled, they both have almost the same duration, so it's a counter in a way to the Shallow Grave. So I'll be interested to see if OD uses that in any way this game. We'll see where everyone's going. OD may have ported out to the lane. I must have missed that. He was out there a lot quicker than anyone else, just trying to get a bit of early vision. No one's placed any wards down. No one's bought anything. Look, anyone's got what vision we've got here. Alright, so we've got vision on the Dire, or detection on the Dire, nothing on the Radiant. Otherwise everything's pretty simple. So they've got the early ward in mid, hoping to de-ward or catch Bounty Hunter, and they have. They may have just seen him, or he may have just creeped past. So it looks to be the Dire and the Radiant will just trade runes, no problems. Both mid laners get the runes. There's early defensive and defensive wards in mid, just give the high ground vision, but also keep away Bounty Hunter, who's already waiting to have a ping at possibly the Courier or something rolling through, and Earth Spirit has gone in straight away to harass this OD. He's got an Orb of Venom, so he'll be able to chase heroes down before they get boots, give them a bit of a harass. Bounty Hunter is still waiting for that Courier, hoping it's going to come. But it doesn't look like Invoker's going to Courier himself out of salve, like some people do. So Bounty Hunter is right out of luck. He's already making his way down bot lane now. They've got a jungling lifestealer, which means Spectre solo safe lane against a Sand King. It looks like at the moment they're just trading creep waves, so there may have been a creep pool gone on by one of them, which has caused the wave to be a bit skewiff. And they both look like they're going to be able to last hit. So at the moment, Sand King is doing better than the opposing off lane, as he has some last hits, because Tide's against the dual lane, whereas Sand King is all by himself.
so sad.
And actually putting in quite a bit of hurt onto Spectre, I assume, with the Caustic Finale and probably Burrow Strike. Another go in on mid here. Earth Spirit's still level 1 though, so no stun or silence. Invoker does have Sunstrike. He's not even going to try. The salve's popped on OD, and it'll reset. Tide Hunter does successfully get the creep pull, so he'll get a bit of XP here because the lane's going to run straight to his tower. It's well done. And he does the right thing as well when he grabs it and pulls it far enough away so that range creep won't aggro to them.
What have we here?
Sand King is having a pretty fun time for an offlaner here in the bot lane. He's already level 3, nearly level 4. Keeping up with Spectre. He's only 2 last hits behind the Spectre actually. We have a look at mid lane. OD and Invoker are OD's got the slight advantage with 1 more deny and a few more last hits. Which is interesting because in the mid lane, this is where all the pressure has been on. It's been on the OD. Because it's only a level 1 Earth Spirit, there's not a lot he can do now. Everyone else is level 4. He's coming back again. He's one creep away from hitting level 2, which could make the gank all the more different. OD does now have the Astral Imprisonment though for the defensive play. Tidehunter gets the Leech a last hit and some XP from the creep pool. Kraken Shell will keep him alive. Not that he was going to die, keep him at a reasonable health. Earth Spirit's level 2 now, and he still hasn't left the mid lane. Here we go. Oh, that's a good play. He's punted OD back. This should be first blood. OD misses the Astral Imprisonment. It should be first blood, and that's a good Sunstrike dead. That's really unfortunate that he missed the Astral Imprisonment. But well done for landing the Sunstrike, and they also timed their CC quite well. And I think it was quite smart punting the OD back rather than stunning him. Bounty Hunter's now going in on Invoker. Invoker does have a cold snap to stop him. Oh, and all I was saying about Tidehunter being able to survive due to Kraken Shell has proven wrong, and he's going to miss, what's that, almost two full creep waves of XP. It's a really unfortunate time to die for Tidehunter. And back down bot lane, Sand King is second most last hits on the map at the moment. He is having the offlane of his life.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And Earth Spirit is back mid again, straight away. Unfortunately, the Sunstrike misses, and OD can turn this now, stealing a bit of in. He does do a fair bit of damage. Bounty Hunter is right there as well if they do decide to stick around. So it's about 4 people mid, has been for a little while. Bounty Hunter has moved in to protect OD because he keeps getting ganked. Earth Spirit's stacking camps with illusions. That's very good. Manages to stack 2 camps at once. That's very well played. And we've still got the lifesteal at jungle. It'll be interesting to see what he decides to go first.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Unfortunately, the jungle sets the team back so much when you're giving the offlane a free farm. Basically, there's no support for Spectre, which is alright. Spectre's still getting farm, but it gives the offlane a far more farm than your team's offlaner. Tidehunter's being set upon again. Bounty Hunter could snag a Slark kill here. Oh, but he goes for the Dazzle. Oh, they could see him. Never mind. He walked straight through the sentry. I missed it. Turns the last hit. OD still pulling a little bit ahead in mid. Not a significant advantage yet. But our Slark is miles ahead of Spectre. That is the big difference. Double the last hits. That's the difference a support makes in your lane. Right now Spectre is struggling to lane against the off lane Sand King. 2 levels behind. Sand King has used Sand King must have killed Spectre. I missed it entirely while watching what was going on in mid. That's what happens when you leave your safe lane alone. And also have a jungler. Because you can have greedy junglers like Enigma and Enchantress and Chen who do jungle at a reasonable pace. Whereas Lifestealer does jungle but nowhere near as quick. And it doesn't help where he dies there as well. It's going to make Spectre's life a bit harder because she knows Earth Spirit is in the vicinity now. Bounty Hunter is still hanging about top, trying to give Tidehunter a bit of assistance because he's died once. He does have 24 last hits, so at the moment both teams offlaners are doing significantly better than the Radiant safe laner. But if you look at it realistically, Tide has actually had more help than Spectre. Unfortunately, I believe Tide went into Ravage then, but also used Anchor Smashing and didn't have enough mana, and it just didn't quite calculate that. Like as a result, this could be a triple kill for Slark. That's
Another shackle dragger.
Interesting. I think unfortunately Tide miscalculated by about 30 mana and wasn't able to get the Anchor Smash and Ravage, which would have
Radiant's
probably
top
had Dazzle
tower is
dead,
under attack.
and that fight could have gone very differently.
What have we here?
Sand King is stacking the Radiant jungle for himself. Oh no, he hasn't got any levels of Sandstorm, so he's just stacking it for later. Spectre's got a couple levels. They've gone the urn, so they'll quite possibly go drums as their next item. I'd assume they'd finish their boots first, though.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Sand King is now pulled ahead in the last hits department, so the Dire offlaner is top of last hits at the moment, but the Slark is probably well ahead in net worth due to the few kills he's got. Sorry, I hit the wrong key. It's another engagement in bot. Sunstrike hits. Sand King uses Epicenter, and he may kill all of them here. He's got so Caustic Finale will explode and get the kill. Dazzle secured it. So for the cost of an Earth Spirit, they've taken out the Spectre and the Bounty Hunter. It was a very good engagement. Help with the Sunstrike there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
And luckily Sand King's ult did come up about 10 seconds before that fight.
Radiant
Sand King
structures
has his
are
Blink Dagger
fortified.
now, if he chooses to.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
It's a 9-minute Blink Dagger, that's huge, that's very good. He can now start playing incredibly aggressive. Not that he wasn't already. So OD still foregoing his ult for now, which is pretty commonplace these days. There's a bit of action going on mid. You've got a rotation. There's a Ravage used. Oh, but Sand King was there just in time with the Burrow Strike. It saves him. Oh, wow.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
And OD should fall here. He nearly takes Invoker with him. But due to the early Blink Dagger pickup, Sand King was able to cross a lot of ground very quickly and save Invoker's life. With the double Burrow Strike, the stun was just enough to let
Radiant's middle
Invoker...
tower is under attack.
I think he popped a Fairy Fire Drop Sunstrike and then started to get out. I get a tier 1 mid tower out of that engagement. This is a solid rotation, good teamwork, good just awareness that that gank was coming. So they came straight up from bot lane ready for that. And Slark's still farming away. He's got quite the money. Looks like he's going for Shadow Blade first. He's just picked up a Shadow Amulet. If you have a look at the XP here, it's a pretty significant Dire advantage. It's well over 4k. Oh, got a bit of action. Oh, it was just banishing Lifestealer so he could get the last hits. Dazzle's going to stack some camps again for his team. Well, I don't know who will come clear it. It's probably Sand King when he gets his Sandstorm. Or Slark could come clear it. So you've got a triple stack there. Triple stack here.
Location.
Dire's
Caustic
middle
Finale
tower
is
under attack.
quite a fun ability. Sand King is now going for the Veil of Discord. Engagement on Slark. If they do kill Slark, they get a bit of gold out of this. I think his net worth is pretty high. He does have his ult, but Spectre lands the dagger so they know exactly where he's gone. But the Haunts doesn't have it. Should use the Mango so that they can get another dagger out. No, not quite. Dire have a lot of offensive vision in their jungle, in the Radiant's jungle, so they know what's going on. They can watch the movements. At the moment, the Radiant are pretty well occupying their one jungle camp up top and guarding top lane.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So let's take care of that stack. The tier 1 bot should fall here. Doesn't look like anyone's even considering coming to defend it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So it's another tower to the Dire.
Radiant structures are fortified.
See if Sand King manages to get the
Dire's
last hit.
middle tower is under attack.
He does.
Radiant's bottom
That's,
tower
I
has fallen.
believe almost his Veil finished. OD is going Drums of Endurance. See what Spectre's deciding to go now. Hasn't bought yet. Spectre will also be going Drums. I've just picked up the Bracer.
Denied.
Bounty Hunter's got the dust because he hasn't quite hit level 6 for the track yet, so in case they go invoke... Oh, there's another wraparound in mid. Here we go, OD's been burrow striked. And it's a nuke from the Dazzle, and they're all dead. I don't even think they knew Bounty Hunter was there. There's no defensive vision, so they were able to just quietly wrap around through the enemy's jungle, come in behind and easily take out the mid laner and the Bounty who was sitting there trying to keep him safe.
Radiant's middle tower is under
You got
attack.
Lifesteal. Lifesteal has picked up his Midas. He's trying to, I would call it the catch-up Midas. He's trying to regain a bit of farm. It all depends on how long it's going to take the Dire to go high ground. Although Slark seems to just delete
Radiant's
Lifestealer.
middle
I missed
tower
that.
has fallen.
The amount of vision they have in the enemy's jungle here, the Dire team, they've got the Radiant jungle pretty well
Radiant's top tower
entirely
is under
watered,
attack.
so they can see their movements, they can farm safely, they can do such things as the wraparound they just did and know that they weren't going to run into anyone unless they were smoked. At the moment I don't think a single smoke has been popped this game. Total net worth on each team, it's over 10k at the 14-minute mark in favour of the Dire. It is 12 kills difference. But one good team fight, one good Ravage, one good OD ult could change everything, especially once Bounty Hunter hits 6. Bounty Hunter hits 6, they're starting to get the track kill income. It's for some people it seems insignificant, but that extra gold every kill to your whole team, if the team's involved in it, is can be quite the game changer. I think OD's having a bit of a disagreement with Lifestealer though.
Regeneration.
So Slark's up to another 1800 gold. It'll be interesting to see what he goes next.
Take that.
Whether he goes into a Skadi or a Manta. Or I don't even want to predict because I could just be entirely wrong. Sometimes I don't know what I'm talking about. So it looks like they're all pretty focused on the mid lane here. The Radiant side have been in the mid lane for a fair while now. While they're putting pressure on that tier 2, or the tier 2 that isn't there anymore, the rest of them are rushing. Slark manages to get a pick off bot, take out the Spectre quite easily by the looks of things. It was very quick. Yeah, the Forge Spirit's taking Roche.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Their vision has detected Night Hunter there. They could easily pick him off here. Slark's got the Shadow Blade. Be interesting to see whether Tide Hunter uses the Ravage to try and survive. You'd hope not. The Tide Hunter's dead. Bounty Hunter does have track out now though. That's the advantage. He's hit 6 probably about a minute ago. By saying it's advantage, it's a bonus. It's not necessarily an advantage unless they're able to get the kills. They're still working away at Roche. It's taken some time, but while they've been doing this, the team still picked up 2 kills, so it's not like they're losing any map presence. At the moment, if you look at it, the entire Radiant side is pretty scared to leave their base. They're walking out in pairs. The old buddy system. Don't leave anywhere without your buddy, otherwise you might get lost. Or in this case, it's mortal.
Into the dark.
So Invoker looks to be going for an Aghanims now. There's an engagement going on bot. They don't have any detection for Bounty Hunter. Well, they do. They have the dust. The dust has been popped. Bounty Hunter will die here.
Dashing out.
Could have a look what everyone's starting to build. So you got a mech coming up on Tide Hunter. I'm not sure how far away he is there. He's 200 gold. He's nearly there. And he's got his boots, so will he go Greaves or Blink Dagger?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Looks to be the Dazzle will also be building a mech. He's got his headdress. Tide's completed his mech.
Radiant structures
And that's another,
are
it will be another tier
fortified.
2 down for the Dire.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
So now the base defense begins. Oh, the combo onto Spectre. Spectre doesn't fall. Tidehunter uses his mech very well, keeps Spectre alive. I'm pretty sure the only thing that hit Spectre after Sand King uses Veil was a Sunstrike, and I believe it doesn't modify Sunstrike's damage in any way, as it already does the maximum possible because it's pure damage. I may be wrong, but I think that's the case. So yeah, they're slowly starting to get ready to siege high ground. They do still have a tier 2 available top if they want that little extra gold income before they try and commit. They do have the Aegis. And it's still 3 minutes until the Aegis expires. Sand King drops a Veil, just a bit of like, hey guys, get ready, we're gonna go if you try and go us. But it is hard to push in when your team's getting tracked. Slark's going to possibly attempt to fight OD here. And here we go, it's dead OD. Oh, he's Astraed himself. Does he have any intellect? He does. He's got 25. He may drop the ult. No, it doesn't. It's not on cooldown. I assume that's actually how Slark got so low. So Lifestealer is going towards his armlet now. He does have the Midas, so he can slowly start to catch up as the only person on the dire side that has a Midas which can continue to, I guess you'd say, pull ahead is Invoker. No one else has gone the Midas. Here we go. An Epicenter committed just for a Bounty Hunter who is the lowest net worth at the moment.
Radiant's top tower is under
I would almost, if I was the Bounty Hunter, say it's worth it because we now know for the next minute and a half we don't have to worry about Epicenter, and I'm up in 15 seconds. That is if they're a glass half full type of team. And finally, with the aid of Forge Spirits, the high ground siege begins. Tidehunter doesn't get to get Ravage off, he hasn't got buyback. 2 kills, Lifesteal has fallen as well. This could be a tier 3, possibly a lane of racks. Slark's missed his leap there, but it doesn't matter. And he did go to Scardy, so he's got a fair bit of health behind him. Oh, unfortunately, Bounty Hunter tried to get some tracks out and they caught him straight away. And that's a lane of racks there.
Radiant's top barracks are under attack.
So not looking good for the Radiant side, if I'm being perfectly honest. They're a 20 kill deficit, over 20k net worth, 12k XP.
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
It's rough. By the looks of things, a few of them have decided to not leave the fountain and essentially call GG. That's your second lane of Rex falling. I'd go as far as saying the real star of this game was the Sand King. Was able to pretty much zone out the solo Spectre, whilst outlast hitting almost everyone on the opposing team and on his team.
Tower is under attack.
And that'll be mega creeps, guys. It was a, I'll be honest with you, it wasn't a very exciting game, but it was a game, that's for sure. And you did see some interesting plays. You did see the Sand King absolutely dominate his lane. You saw some very swift reactions in mid to save some teammates from both sides. Actually, there were rotations that saved people at one point in time. And you did see the power of, I know I'm talking about Sand King a lot, but you don't see it that often. You did see the power of Caustic Finale that was actually, when you got it on one or two things and someone was caught in the middle, they exploded. It also got him the last hit on a few heroes. He'd hit it and run away, they thought they were alive, and then they'd explode. As the Radiant falls, I thank everyone for watching. I hope this one was a bit better than my first one. I'm only obviously trying to improve. If you do have any games you'd like me to cast for whatever reason, you can email me at pubcasts@outlook.com. You can leave a comment on the video, or you can message me. I'm happy to cast almost any game if you can give me a brief reason as to why I should cast it. I know my mates have just played in a 2.5 hour game and they want me to cast it, so I'm going to need a lot of energy to do that. I may give it a crack. It'll be interesting. But anyway, thanks again for watching if you did, guys, and I'll bring you another game probably sooner than a week. It took me a bit longer to get this game out than I wanted. Thanks, guys.